Harrison's the reigning British and Commonwealth Featherweight champion. But he'll need all his rugged determination against Julio Pablo Chacon of Argentina. He is the man Harrison must dethrone to become Scotland's first ever world featherweight champion. Amazing Alex Arthur, Britain's Young Boxer of the Year, long tip for stardom. But in championship class, untested. Steve Conway's the opponent. He gets his chance to make his name tonight as they meet for the vacant British super featherweight title. Harrison and Arthur, Scotland's biggest hopes in years, carrying their nation's dreams. And we have the sort of atmosphere building up here which recalls the great nights in the career of Jim Watt, one of only 8 men in the entire history of Scottish boxing to have claimed a version of a world title. But Jim and Barry have both picked out both of these two as special from the very start. Are they now ready to take the ultimate step, Jim?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think it could come at a better time, especially for Scott Harrison. I mean, this is the ultimate step for him. He's been brought along nicely. He's 3 former world champions on his record, and he's dealt with all 3 of them, you know, no messing around. He is really ready for this tonight. Boxing at home is a wonderful bonus.
Barry, as a former world featherweight champion yourself, Scott Harrison, our top of the bill tonight. Yeah. What are your thoughts as he steps out on what is the most important night of his career?
Well, I would like to have seen him have another couple of fights at world-class level. However, you take these opportunities when they come, and I think this is a great time for a number of reasons. Chacon hasn't looked great in his last defence. He's not a formidable looking champion. Scott's on a roll. He's the best improved fighter I've seen in a long time. He's punching with real authority, and we know he can take that power into the late rounds as he showed against Eric Odemase. So I pick him, but it won't be easy. It'll be a tough fight.
We're in for a great night of action here. If all goes well, we'll have 2 Scotsmen to take the game here into a whole new era, as Adam Smith reports.
The new generation of Scottish bravehearts. Tonight, Scott Harrison and Alex Arthur aim to emulate the achievements of Jim Watt and Ken Buchanan. They've both joined the Young Boxer of the Year's Roll of Honour, like many graduates from the Sports Network School of Excellence. Harrison and Arthur are the most recent winners, and a class of star pupils are looking to follow in their footsteps.
It's been great. It's nice. It's part of the job that I do enjoy, working with the young fighters and bringing them through.
Harrison's proof the system works. He's had the perfect education.
We make the right matches and we bring them along, I think, correctly, and put them in learning fights.
I'm sitting here fighting for the world title in front of 25,000 fans on the Saturday night, so my management team's done something right.
And stablemate Arthur's passed every test with flying colours. 12 fights, 12 wins, but he doesn't give himself full marks.
Almost perfect, almost the way that I dreamed it, you know, and the dream will be one step closer on Saturday night.
All the hard work will pay off if he can dispatch Steve Conway for the British super featherweight title. Yet the Dewsbury Southpaw's a talented boxer who recently retired Steve Robinson.
That's a good win, you know. A points win over 8 rounds, which is impressive, you know, but I'm no Steve Robinson.
Alex Arthur's been groomed for stardom from the very beginning. A class act in and out of the ring. Charismatic, yet clinically destructive. Time to fulfill his early promise.
I see it as I've been given a gift, and I've got to polish the gift every day and make it stand out brighter than anyone else's.
He stands out in every way so far, Barry. That's as a personality and as a fighter.
Yeah.
But he has never yet fought anybody in Britain's recognised top 10.
Yeah.
So there's an awful lot still to prove, isn't there?
I think there is quite a lot to fuse, and we obviously discover a lot about fighters as their career go on. Steve Conway is a tough, big super featherweight, so it'll be a tough night's work for him tonight, but I believe he has an amazing ability. I've always watched him and thought this kid can really make it, and I've no doubt that tonight will be another performance, but this will be a tough fight. It'll be a hard workout for him.
Fair to say, Jim, he could be the first Scottish superstar in a gold lame in boxing.
Yeah, well, that's the trend of things now, and he's following the trends. But yeah, I think he's an exceptional talent. It's true he hasn't proven himself yet, and I think he'll be disappointed there's not Willie Lemon in the ring tonight, but he has to focus. This is an awkward southpaw, experienced fellow, so the plans obviously have to be different, but I've no doubt whatsoever he'll leave the ring tonight as British champion.
Not everything went quite according to plan here at the weigh-in for this British super featherweight title fight. Alex Arthur onto the scales, and even though he'd stripped down with the lame very definitely off, still slightly over. But bigger question surrounding Steve Conway. The British board had a decision to make about him on Tuesday. Conway got the job as a replacement for Willie Limond. Arthur eventually second time, okay at the weight, 9-4. But Conway, who weighed 10-1 against Rakhim Mingalayev a fortnight ago, now, has he got anything to lose?
I feel fine at this weight. I was strong last week at Super Feather, so when I boxed for 2 weeks ago, so who knows? It's every fighter's dream to fight for the British title, and that's why I'm here.
So Barry, has he actually passed the toughest test of all already, Conway, in making the weight here?
No, that's the test is in here. Making the weight is obviously an important part of it, but he has to prove that he's strong enough in here, and we won't see it until he starts taking punishment. Then he'll prove to us whether he has the durability or whether he's taken the strength with him or left it in the gym.
We're in pretty new surroundings tonight here. It's the Braehead Arena in Glasgow, but in every other way, an occasion to recreate the memories of past glories, nights when the passion of Scotland's home support could truly make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. They've waited too long, years, to have genuine potential world stars of their own to cheer, but now at last, they hope they have two. And more stars with us at ringside tonight. Gary Jacobs, alongside Wayne McCulloch. Wayne, hopefully lined up to meet the winner of Harrison Chacon. But it is with Alex Arthur we start. Our commentary team all set to go. Ian Darkin, Glenn McCrory, and our master of ceremonies tonight here in Glasgow is Michael Pass.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Braehead Arena here in one of the world's finest cities, Glasgow, Scotland. This is the first of our championship contests. Would you please welcome the first of our challengers from Dewsbury in West Yorkshire, Steve Conway.
Well, late substitutes have triumphed before when they've gone into major championship fights. You can think back to Steve Robinson, who came in at 48 hours' notice to become world featherweight champion. This is a British title level. Steve Conway actually retired Robinson in one of his recent fights. On Monday, he was doing his job as a steel erector in Cambridge when the phone call came after Willie Limond pulled out. Would he like to come along and be challenger to Alex Arthur tonight? Well, he only fought 2 weeks ago. He was in pretty good shape. He felt he could do it, and he's here, and he's made the weight, and he has his dreams.
Well, sometimes that's the best way to do it, Ian. You haven't got the chance to be nervous about it. It's given a good opportunity for him. He fought 2 weeks ago. Now he's got to be ready for this one.
Steve Conway from Dewsbury in Yorkshire. He's the challenger tonight, but he's a big outsider.
And now, presenting the second of our challengers from Edinburgh in Scotland, amazing Alex Arthur.
Big reception for Alex Arthur. Voted the best young boxer in Britain recently. 24 years of age. Calls himself amazing. Wears the gold lame top to the ring. 12 fights, 12 wins, 10 by stoppage, and he's looked very good doing it along the way. This, he hopes, the first of many coronations in his career. Groomed for stardom from the moment he was spotted by a former sparring partner of Tommy Farr, the excellent Welsh heavyweight who fought so bravely against the great Joe Lewis. Been boxing since he was a boy, and he has looked special, Glenn.
He really has, Ian. You know, this is somebody who's come up, done it all well, really does look groomed for stardom, and it does look like he will fit into that amazing Alex Arthur nickname. Certainly already starting to get the crowd and the public on his side, and has got a lot of talent.
Taylor the tape for this fight, the British Super Featherweight Championship. Arthur 24, Conway, who's 25 years of age. He's a tricky southpaw, Conway, by the way. Arthur's taller, will have a slight reach advantage. Both of them had to go to the scales twice to make the weight. Much more of a problem, I think, for Conway, who came in at late notice. Arthur was only a couple of ounces over. Conway, I think, very dried out, truth to tell. Conway's been a pro for 6 years, Alex Arthur the last 2. Conway's had 4 fights, and he is on a winning run as well. Steve Conway, including that win over Steve Robinson, the former WBO featherweight champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, once more good evening and welcome to the Braehead Arena here in the city of Glasgow, Scotland. Tonight, Frank Warren Sports Network, in association with our main sponsors, Red Square, the drink that packs a punch, proudly present 12 3-minute rounds of boxing for the vacant Super Featherweight Championship of Great Britain. We'd like to welcome our viewers watching live and exclusively on Sky Sports. The officials have been appointed by the British Boxing Board of Control. Stood in charge at ringside, Mr. Bernard Connolly. Doctors are Delph, Stead and Tansey. And now, introducing the boxers. Fighting out of the red corner, wearing the claret-coloured shorts trimmed with silver. At yesterday's weigh-in, he scaled on the championship limit of 9 stones and 4 pounds exactly. From 30 contests, he has 26 wins. 4 of those wins coming by way of knockout, with only 4 defeats. He is the first of our challengers for the championship, presenting from Dewsbury in West Yorkshire, Steve Conway. And opposing him, boxing out of the blue corner, wearing the brown-coloured shorts trimmed with gold. At yesterday's weigh-in, he also scaled on the championship limit of 9 stones and 4 pounds exactly. He has a proud, undefeated record consisting of 12 contests, 12 wins. 10 of those wins coming by way of knockout. As an amateur, he was a former Commonwealth Games gold medalist, presenting from Edinburgh in Scotland, the second of our challengers, amazing Alex Arthur. Timekeeper at the bell is Mr. Jim Russell from Glasgow, and the referee is star referee Mr. Dave Harris from Edmonton in London. This is 12 rounds of boxing for the vacant Super Featherweight Championship of Great Britain.
Arthur. I spoke to you both in the dressing room, boys. Remember, punch with the knuckle part of the glove. If one of you goes down, the other goes in the furthest neutral corner. Break when I tell you to. Defend yourself all the time. Shake hands, boys. Good luck to you both.
Alex Arthur has 5 first-round wins already. Conway is known as a slow starter, and it must have been a struggle for him to get down to 9 stone 4, because he was 10 stone 1 on the day for his last fight on October the 5th. Brown trunks of the golden boy, Alex Arthur, from Edinburgh. Best fighter to come out of that city since the great lightweight Ken Buchanan, who's here tonight. Arthur looking to make this the first of many titles. Very dangerous with the right hand. Conway, southpaw, knowing, sometimes quite awkward to fight. And he's getting 6 times what he's ever earned before, according to his promoter Tommy Gilmore, to come in for this opportunity. Might have to earn it too.
Yes, it could be a tough night for Conway, but he needs to get in this fight. And Arthur know that he's there, know that he is pretty capable.
His title vacant at the moment at 9 stone 4 pounds. Dates back to 1968. Jimmy Anderson was the first to hold it. It's got a history of being a jinx title. I think 13 in a row, lost it in their first defence. Good right hand to the body from Arthur. his own. It is a big question, sorry to harp on about it. How strong at the weight can Conway be of his limited preparation?
The Conway boxing behind the southpaw jab, just picking Arthur with that shot occasionally. Might just take Arthur a little while to get the makings of the stance and just settle in and find his rhythm.
Arthur is due to fight Willie Limon in an all-Scottish showdown. Limon pulling out for the second time with a perforated eardrum. Arthur said he was distraught about that court with a couple of counters there. Arthur just dropped his right glove a bit and Conway made him pay for it with a couple of fast shots.
Well, he comes in pretty straight up, Alex Arthur, good school boxer, but just finding, defensively getting caught by Conway with the jab and the straight left.
Conway will see this as a massive opportunity. He seemed to be moved a little by one of those right hands. Let's go back to the weight thing. Of course, they did weigh in at 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon, which is, what, 31 hours before the fight. What happened to 24-hour weigh-ins, Glenn?
Well, lots of things just seem to get moved around, don't they?
Well, the board need to think about it. Interesting. Opening round. Arthur didn't have it all his own way, did he?
He didn't. He got caught with a couple of shots. He's maybe a little tense. It's a big night for Arthur. And look at it. He got caught with a couple of shots coming in.
Arthur, gold medalist, as you can see there, at the Commonwealth Games in 1998 before he turned professional. And he's had 5 first-round wins. In fact, boxed in 2 World Championships, got to the quarterfinals in one of them, gold at the Commonwealth Games, 20-plus Scottish vest, and a 3 times Scottish ABA champion. It all started for him watching Barry McGuigan fights with his dad.
Well, I'm sure Barry inspired a few young fighters onto big things.
Barry, of course, watching Arthur tonight. Nice twist on the story, isn't it? After the brown trunks from Edinburgh. Done 80 rounds of sparring in preparation for this. Conway, who used to be with the Brendan Ingle team, is now with Michael Marsden, Yorkshire manager trainer. Good left hand. First to the head, then the body. Glass from Arthur, but Conway spits out defiance again with his left hand. It's a decent effort, this, from Conway. He looked pretty dreadful, frankly, didn't he, at the weigh-in? Well, but he's had a long time to recover, hasn't he?
He has done. He's been fiery. He's countering pretty well now and again as Arthur tries to unload.
Feeling is around again that Alex Arthur is already the best super featherweight in the country. Although others like Dean Pithy and Kevin Lear and Michael Gomez would argue about that. But he has to prove it. He has to win the belts in the championships. After the rave reviews, the reality.
Well, that's right, Ian. It's never easy. There's opponents like Conway who, do their work, go unrecognised, but a decent performance.
Right hand, straight one, through the middle from Arthur. Conway's been a professional, though, for 4 years longer. Worth remembering. Again, the right hand thuds through. Conway takes it well, though. I think he's been buoyed up. He was telling me last night that win over Steve Robinson, who is a name, okay, it was the end of Robinson's career, has given him a new self-belief. He got him with a little uppercut there as well.
He's certainly thinking in there, isn't he, Conway? He's waiting for Arthur to come forward, commit himself, and then he's looking for some nice shots on the counter.
Absolutely nothing to lose, really, for Conway in here. Left hook, fast, this time from Arthur. the body. I think he feels that Conway might be weight drained.
He's also going through the repertoire of punches that he has, Arthur, and that is a very good one. Can hit with both hands and mixes the shots up really well.
After winning the round again, Conway competitive. Amazing Alex, as he calls himself. He's a baby son, and his dad are also called that, and his grandfather, I think, as well.
There's the good shots going in from Arthur, mixing up well. The right hand, always a punch you use against the southpaw, then come back with the left hook. Arthur finding them punches well.
Third round for the British Super Featherweight Championship. Steve Conway sent out with a message from his trainer Michael Marsden: believe in yourself. We overheard that sitting about a yard away from his corner. I think he does believe in himself.
Yep, I think he does. He's certainly trying very hard, cagey, concentrating well, looking for the opportunities.
Has been stopped 3 times in his career, Conway. And back he comes at Arthur again and tries to shove him against the ropes, but Arthur was having none of that. He's won his last 6, Conway, by the way. Ranked about number 7 in Britain. Again, switching the attack to the body judiciously, Arthur.
Conway will see this as a fairy tale opportunity for him to really get up there.
Trying to get Arthur onto the back foot, not let him come forward, see if he's so good when he has to go backwards. Can Conway really do that?
Lift him up.
Good body shots from Arthur. To take a left hand back again. His defence by no means watertight. Real good punch. Humdinger of a straight right from Arthur. But Conway ate that up as well without any discernible effect.
But he is showing the class and what he's got in there, Arthur, against a cagey opponent.
Trying to switch the angles, Arthur. Again, a crunching way. It didn't quite land flush, but the body punch that followed it did. Conway showing good resistance, though.
He really is. He's shown somebody who's got belief, who wants this, who's trying very hard, taking Arthur's shots and then firing back.
It's a spirited effort from a man coming in with only 5 days to go.
Arthur coolly just avoiding those shots and then unloading very well indeed.
Classy combinations. Good fight.
The weight making will have drained Conway, but look at that shot. Just weighted, countered with that right hand beautifully.
Arthur, who was forbidden to box as a boy by his father, but he went ahead and did it anyway. He's an extrovert, articulate character. Arthur, breath of fresh air on the scene. Good to have around, trained by Peter Harrison, who handles Scott Harrison, of course. Then the big one still to come. What a good night we've got here in Scotland tonight. Good left hand from Conway. Might this turn out to be a trickier fight for Arthur than Willie Lemon would have done.
Well, there has been a bit of frustration and disappointment in not getting the lemon fight. And a change of opponent is always difficult when somebody's brought in at the last minute.
Arthur's camp might be a little worried about the number of times he's getting hit.
Well, I think, you know, he's maybe trying to do that, or not trying to do it on purpose, but you know, he's staying in longer than he maybe would, because he knows he can do that with Conway. Not the biggest puncher out there. Only 4 stoppage wins and there's 30 fights, Conway. So he can take you know, 1 or 2 more chances.
Calculated gamble, you reckon, well?
Well, you'd think so.
And he's throwing punches with real menace. Arthur in close. Conway performing with great honour, though. Very good-looking combinations. Again, sinking in the right to the body. Conway trying to keep him away, but the left hook puts it down. Round 4, Conway down. Big shot. Shows no signs of getting up or inclination to do so. He's going to be counted out. He is. Knockout. Amazing. Alex Arthur is the British champion in his 13th pro fight. Boxing good, but Conway's performance before it ended. But that left hook knocked everything out of the young man from Dewsbury, and Alex Arthur is crowned British champion. One dream fulfilled.
Yes, an excellent left hook. He did there just choose to stand in, stay toe-to-toe with Conway, because I think he knew, you know, Conway wasn't going to hurt him, but he was going to get the shot on to hurt Conway. And that's what he did with that beautifully timed left hook.
Good news for Frank Warren as well. One of his stable of stars delivering here as he was expected to do. I think one of the bookmaking firms this morning had Arthur 33-1 on to win.
Well, he was always a favourite, but Conway handled himself well, tries to fight back, but Arthur, he's just going to get the shot. He's looking for the shot, throwing the combinations to the body, waits for the opportunity for Conway's hands to come down, and then whips in that left hook to the head. There's the body shots, going in, leaving himself a little open because he knows Conway can't hit him, can't hurt him, and then brings the left hook to the head.
And he wasn't riding that one, was he? His head was coming back, and it kind of doubled the impact almost. Great left hook, real class from Alex Arthur, the new British super featherweight champion. Well, he lives and loves the sport, and it means so much to him. He was absolutely depressed when I spoke to him on Monday on the phone. He said, I'm so distraught when the fight with Willie Lemon fell through, but it all came right in the end. They got him a British Championship fight, and he's won it.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 2 minutes and 19 seconds of round number 4, referee Dave Paris has reached the count of 10. Your winner by way of stunning knockout and the new super featherweight champion of Great Britain from Edinburgh here in Scotland, amazing Alex Arthur. And please show your appreciation for a very brave challenger indeed, Steve Conway. The British Boxing Board of Control Steward in charge, Mr. Bernard Connolly, will now present the prized Lonsdale belt to the winner and new super featherweight champion of Great Britain, amazing Alex Arthur.
A fantastic reception he's getting. It could be the first of many major nights, hopefully many of them in Scotland, for a Scottish sensation in the making. He shared a dream since first turning pro, maybe even lacing up a glove with his stablemate Scott Harrison. And Harrison's night, in truth, this is. He is the top of the bill. And even as we celebrate Arthur out here, we're all expectantly waiting the moment of truth in the career of Scott Harrison, bidding to become the WBO World Featherweight Champion here at home. The smile tells a story for our first big winner of the night. Here he is with Adam Smith.
Yes, a big smile after 2 years as a professional, and in your 13th fight, you're crowned British Super Featherweight Champion. Explain it in words.
Well, it should have been in my 11th fight, you know. So, but we've got there in the end, you know. Frank promised, they delivered, and I'm absolutely delighted. Obviously, for the Scottish fans, I love yous all.
KO for the record books will say, but Steve Conway put up a very spirited effort, having come in at 5 days' notice.
I think he's a really good technical boxer, you know. He was tricky, Adam, like you said he would be. Very, very tactical, and I felt that his conditioning was wearing down a wee bit, you know, and I felt that would come on probably around 6, 7, but nice and early, it was good.
You felt you were winning the rounds, and then when you tied him in the corner, you looked for that left hook, which was sweet.
Well, I was just letting him punch himself out, really, you know. He was throwing a lot, he was flailing away with shots, and I seen a gap that he was leaving for his chin exposed, and I thought I'll bring the left hook over in a few minutes, and bang, it was over.
Frank Warren, you must be a delighted promoter. This boy's pretty special, isn't he?
He certainly is, and I'm delighted for him. You know, it's great for Scottish boxing. You know, it's such a renaissance up here for Scottish boxing, and it's down to Alex, and it's down to Scott Harrison, and it can only go from strength to strength. What he's done tonight, I think, is excellent. His 13th pro fight, to be an experienced fighter like that is good going.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, Alex. Can Scott Harrison make this a double and a night to remember for Scotland?
Well, I'm hoping and praying, you know. Everybody's behind Scott, and we hope he takes the world title back to Scotland.
Okay. You've done your bit. Well done, Alex.
Thanks, Adam. Love you, Alex. Julio. Great, mate. I've done it.
We could watch him again and again. Did he do everything that you were looking for tonight, Jim?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he dominated the fight, got himself into the driver's seat pretty quickly. But I think we have to give a lot of congratulations to Steve Conway. Came in a few days' notice, boiled himself down to the weight, put up a tremendous show for 3.5 rounds.
And the fact that Conway did so well, Jim, that is going to give Arthur added credibility, won't it?
It will do, but I think also Arthur, Alex himself is his own worst critic, and I think he'll look at tonight's performance and realise he made a lot of mistakes. He was pretty ragged in some of the rounds, but I think he was so excited. I think he knew he was far stronger than Conway, and he wanted to get the job done, but he made plenty of mistakes tonight.
That's the point that Jim was making. He was so anxious to do well today, so anxious to win inside the distance, and it's not about winning, it's about the way you win. And we always knew he would win, but he won in spectacular style. He did get caught with punches. He'll have to tighten his defence up, and there's nobody more scrutinising of his bad work than himself. So he will have looked at that and looked at it meticulously and tried to improve it. But he's getting better, and he's punching very hard. And the first time he put his punches together, Paul, he nailed the guy with a great combination.
And sometimes, Barry, you tell us it's a question of levels.
Absolutely.
When you watch him tonight, do you think that this is only the first level for him?
Yeah, I believe it's only the first level. He's got a lot of strength. He's got a lot of strength improvement to do. I think he's got to tighten his defence up. He's got to work better at coming forward, and just try not to get hit as much, and you know, put his shots together in more spectacular style.
The first level only?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, at one time being British champion meant you were the best in Britain, but that doesn't mean that case today. There's so many titles around, and Alex hasn't proved yet that he is the best in Britain. There's still some good quality fighters up there at the weight rated above him at the moment, so just take time, plenty of time. He's only a kid, plenty of time, just take that time.
Gary Jacobs, as I mentioned, is with us tonight, former triple champion for Scotland, of course. Let's get his assessment now.
13 out of 13 for Alex Arthur, and such a night for him, wasn't it? Impressed?
Absolutely tremendous. I mean, that was his night. It was his first title fight, the British title, and to me, he's improving all the time. He was cool, calm and collected, and to me, that was the best opponent he's fought, and he never lost a round.
He did get caught once or twice by Conway, who was boxing pretty nicely until he finally got caught.
Well, that's what it's all about. The other guy's not there just to fall over. That other guy was there in contention. He wanted to win the title as well, and that, as I said, that is the best opponent he's fought, and he proved that he can mix it with the best.
Do you think Arthur can stay British champion for a while and improve from there to to go on to bigger and better things?
I think he'll want to improve and go on to bigger and better things. I mean, he's got his eyes set in world title fights and all this. But as I say, he's only had a minimal amount of fights already, but he's improving all the time, and I think he will turn into a world-class fighter.
11 stoppages in a row. He's pretty good, Paul.
Let's clear the decks now for our top of the bill here tonight. How long we've waited for this? Scott Harrison clambering his way to the top. Now he bids for a world title. Same stable, different personality to Arthur. Craig Slater gives us more.
A nation expects, but can Scott Harrison deliver Scotland's first world featherweight crown against Julio Pablo Chacon?
I'm mentally and physically prepared for the fight. I'm 100%. Been training for about 8 weeks for the fight, and I'm more than ready. You know, I'm going to rip the title off of Chacon.
He's certainly earned his chance, having cleaned up domestically and gained world-level experience against some top Americans.
We've had a lot of testing fights, and it's like a kind of apprenticeship we've had, and even with defence of the British titles and Conway titles, it's all geared up to being world champion.
Chacon's toiled for months in the Mendoza Mountains for this, but he's made himself at home here in Glasgow, meeting Scots legend Ken Buchanan and talking tactics with fellow countryman Claudio Canigia. He's predicting an early night.
No pasa el for.
He don't pass it for now.
Chacon's already proved himself a dangerous counterpuncher, particularly away from home. But Harrison believes the Glasgow crowd can roar him to a 7th straight knockout on the biggest night of his life.
I believe I'll stop him within 8 rounds. I'm very confident. I've trained hard for the fight, so I'm just looking forward to being world champion.
On the scales, Harrison was bang on the 9-stone limit, with Chacon 2 ounces inside. The fight itself could be just as finely balanced.
Their styles are suited for an explosive fight. I think this will be the fight that will set boxing rocking again in Britain.
Once the bell goes, we've got to be fireworks. This is what it's all about, being world champion. You can't get any higher than that.
Well, the night could not have had a better start for Scott Harrison. Alex Arthur has given the perfect boost to his long-time training partner and friend, and now the stable and everybody in it, including Father Peter, focuses on the big task in front of him. Barry, your thoughts?
Great buzz. The fact that stablemate has won a title, and it's a successful start to the night. He's now going to be out there trying to do what Alex Arthur's done. He's going to try and win the title. It's his biggest night. It's the biggest fight of his life. He'll want to win. He knows it's not going to be as easy as Arthur's night. It's going to be a tough, difficult fight, but he's got to do the best that he can and just focus on plan A and plan B.
Jim, you have looked at the attributes of both men. How does Harrison win?
Well, tactics are very important here, because I think he's in with a fellow who's a thinking fighter, who knows his way around the ring. The Scot has an excellent left jab. It's not a range finder, it's a good solid jab which can break opponents down. He has to do everything behind the jab, especially in the early parts of the fight. He has a great combination of punches. He knows all the shots, as you can see, from all angles. He has excellent balance, which allows him to let punches flow from every angle with good power in either hand. One thing I've always admired about Scott, he's tough. If he has to go into the trenches, and I'm sure he will have to do that at some point tonight, he's able to do that. You can see him standing here with the other guy, taking shots back, but dishing out better. He's not a one-punch knockout artist, but with that good balance I've spoken about, look at the power he gets into these shots, and he knows how to finish a fight. But he's going to need all of those things, because this fellow, I think, is a little bit special. He's cute. You can see how accurate he is at long range. He thinks what he's doing, looks for the target. He doesn't throw wild shots. Thinks what he's doing all the way around. Look at the variety of punches he has, leading with the uppercut and landing it bang on against a real cagey, awkward customer here. He's a thoughtful boxer, but sometimes he can be caught napping. Maybe he's a little bit too deliberate at times, and he can be caught there in between thoughts and action. Bang, he's knocked over. That wasn't a tremendous punch, so maybe a slight suspect. That's a couple of times he's been on the floor. Maybe a little question mark over his chin, but nevertheless, a real 50-50 match here.
Thank you, Jim. Barry, how much credit do you give to Chacon for the fact that there have been dents in his career and low points? He's come back.
Yeah, in the last fight against Victor Polo, he was down, he was cut, he handled 2 crises, and he came back and won the fight. It was a close decision, but he still won it. He's a real pro. He's more diverse than Harrison. He's more adaptable. He's got 2 ways of fighting, whereas Scott has been accused of being a little one-dimensional. So he'll try to use that tonight. He can box and fight. So that's what I'm saying. This is not an easy night for Harrison. He's going to have to work from the first bell to the very last flat out. He's got to set a hard pace and maintain it, back the Argentinian up to the ropes and let those shots go.
Let's get an opinion from the man who hopes to meet the winner. Wayne McCulloch, very much back on the scene. He's with Adam.
Indeed, 6 years of professional learning for Scott Harrison. He's won the British, the Commonwealth title. He's been within hardened Americans, but this is the acid test, isn't it, Wayne? Can he come through?
Definitely can. Harrison, you know, you heard when Alex Arthur fought, the arena went erupted. You know, he's going to walk into a lot of support. That's going to be behind him 100%. You know, Chacon's he's no mug. He's a tough fighter. He's been at world level for a long time, and this is going to be Harrison's biggest test, but I think he can come through it and win the fight.
Chacon, a world-class amateur, is the third defense of the title. What does Harrison have to do to get past the counter-punching of the Argentinian?
I think Harrison, if he uses his reach and his jab in the first couple of rounds, feels Chacon out, just see what he's got. Because Chacon just wants to mix it up and land that big bomb. As he said, he's going to knock him out in the 4th round. I think if Harrison takes his time and in the middle of the fight, just go forward and try to take him out.
Well, it's going to be very interesting. 50-50 pick and fight.
Yes, it's going to be tough, all right, but everything Harrison has done has been in preparation for this. He's been on a winning run, and 3 in a row in Glasgow to get him to this night. It's all there for him now. He has to go and seize his moment of destiny to become Scotland's first ever world featherweight champion. Braehead Arena in Glasgow, and our top of the bill, Scotland's Scott Harrison, bidding to become the WBO world featherweight champion, and the moment is upon us. Well, almost upon us. Let's eavesdrop into Harrison's dressing room here. We understand there has been a short delay backstage because of a problem with one of Scott Harrison's gloves. Well, Jim, I guess if there is a problem, the time to sort it out is before he gets out into the auditorium here.
Yeah, definitely, and it's a pity. I see him warming up again, so maybe they've actually changed the glove, and maybe they want to warm him back up again just to get the glove kind of fitted into the knuckles, because he should be well warmed up at this stage. He knows you know, the action is nice, so he should be well ready. So hopefully that won't affect his concentration. But he has a tremendous temperament, this young kid, and I'm sure it won't. He looks perfectly relaxed.
Every other aspect has been dealt with in perfect detail, including Frank Maloney in a kilt.
Indeed, yeah. Well,
Barry, the one thing about Harrison...
He's allowed to wear a kilt when you're Irish, isn't that right?
Yeah, indeed. When you are Harrison with that kind of temperament, you expect him to deal with that, don't you? That
yeah, he's got a very calm, easygoing personality. It won't faze him at all. He knows what his job is. Got to get it done. Get out there and do it.
All is now ready. Michael Pass.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment has arrived. This is the main event of the evening. Would you please welcome, firstly, to the ring, the challenger from Cambuslang here in Scotland, Scott the Real Harrison.
Well, there is a fantastic atmosphere in here now. And I bet you Jim Watt, with us tonight, is reminded a little of that memorable night at the Calvin Hall here in Glasgow when he became world lightweight champion against the Colombian Alfredo Pitalua. It's a night to evoke those sort of memories. Crowd are on their feet and they're really rooting for Scott Harrison, this dourly, grimly determined young man with the demeanour almost of a Dickensian Undertaker, it seems, bidding tonight to be Scotland's first world champion for 7 years and their first ever at 9 stone. He's passed all the examinations so far. This is the degree course against a rugged, classy world champion. It's a tough job for him.
It's a very tough job, but I think if anybody's ready, it is Scott Harrison. He's worked so hard. He's had a good career. You know, he's done it all very professional. Went about his work in that sort of manner, and I think, you know, he's got to be ready now, and he's going to give it a great chance in front of his home crowd, who are going to push him on so much.
So cool, he went shopping this afternoon in Glasgow, something he likes to do apparently on every fight day. Meanwhile, the champion, Julio Pablo Chacon, is making his way to the arena, and he will not get quite the same enthusiastic welcome.
We present the champion from Mendoza in Argentina, Julio Pablo Chacon.
Boos ring around the arena, but I tell you something, Chacon just will not care, because he went to Hungary in front of 20,000 Hungarian fans, and he ripped the title away from their hero, Istvan Kovac, knocked him out in 6 rounds, and everybody thought that Kovac was pretty hot before that. So, fighting away from home, he just won't care.
Well, some fighters are even better when they're away from home. There's not the pressure, and they can relax, and they can, you know, it gives them a drive to prove everybody wrong, and this is the sort of fighter that Chacon is. Tried and tested, been around an awful long time. 46 fights, 44 wins, and he's a puncher. You know, this is a man who's paid his dues, and he's a good champion.
And he's been saying this week, and it might just be the usual pre-fight rhetoric, but he says that he will knock out Harrison inside 4 rounds. Harrison's response to that, by the way, is we didn't know that the Argentinians had such a good sense of humor. Which I thought was a neat line.
Well, that's the sort of person he is. Very, very dry, but he's got a handful on his hands here. This small man, very stocky, good counter puncher, and he's got a good punch.
He has 31 by knockout or stoppage in those 44 wins. You have to respect him, even though against Victor Polo, when we saw him in London earlier on in the year, he didn't really look that good, did he, that night? He only just scraped by that in that one.
Yep, he was in it with a difficult tall southpaw. He had to use his head, but he proved himself a champion, proved he could do it, and he could still pull it out.
He's certainly taking his time and making Harrison wait, Chacon, and I think this is deliberate, because Harrison got to the ring in about a quarter of a minute. At last, Chacon arrived. I think he was running on the top a lot of the way.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to let everybody know he's the champion.
Genuine 50-50 fight, this. Nobody could call it with any certainty. It could be, and has the makings of being, maybe the fight of the year. Possibly close, possibly memorable. In a wonderful atmosphere in Glasgow, a Scottish fighter going for a real, authentic world championship. Tail of the tape for the fight looks like this. Chacon, 2 years older at 27. Harrison, significantly taller and with a big reach advantage. Now that will be quite crucial, I think, in the fight. Harrison bang on the 9-stone limit. Chacon, who we thought might have a few weight problems, came in a little bit lighter, quarter of a pound roughly lighter. Chacon and Harrison, both professionals since 1996. But look how many more fights Chacon's had. He's been very, very busy and at a pretty high level as well. Boxed a lot more rounds and has a better knockout percentage. He will have the extra power probably. But Harrison is heavy-handed.
Ladies and gentlemen, prior to the commencement of this evening's World Championship contest, both champion and challenger Julio Pablo Chacon and Scott Harrison would please ask you to be upstanding and respectfully observe both Argentina's and Scotland's national anthems. Firstly, the anthem of Argentina.
don't like to hear that, really.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, to perform the nation of Scotland's national anthem, The Flower of Scotland, would you please welcome from the Braehead Symphony National Orchestra, one of Scotland's finest operatic tenors, Mr. Davy Haggerty.
Give us a hand. Oh, flower of Scotland, when we see your lights again, that fought and died for your lead at hell and when I'm stood against them. Her dead words are made and sent and over, they think ahead. The birds are bare now, and autumn leaves lie wet in snow. For London is lost now, which grows so dearly and stood against them. But there goes army and sent them homeward, they think ahead. And when they're past, we must remain, for we know your eyes down, and me and they say again, and serve against them. But there goes army, and send them homeward, they think again.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Braehead Symphony Orchestra, the talent that is Mr. Davy Haggerty.
Oh, it makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand on end. The atmosphere
Ladies
in
and
here
gentlemen,
now.
once more, good evening and welcome to the Braehead Arena here in the city of Glasgow, Scotland. Tonight, Frank Warren Sports Network, in association with our main sponsors, Red Square, the drink that proudly packs a punch, present 12 rounds of boxing for the WBO Featherweight Championship of the World. We'd like to welcome our viewers watching live and exclusively on Sky Sports. The officials have been appointed by the World Boxing Organization in association with the British Boxing Board of Control. WBO President is Mr. Francisco Balcacel, Supervisor at ringside Charles Giles. British Boxing Board of Control Steward in charge, Mr. Bernard Connolly. Timekeeper at the bell is Mr. Richie Davis. We have 3 scoring judges at ringside who are Manuel Oliveira from Spain, Dave Paris from England, and Axel Zilke from Germany. Finally, when the action commences, the referee this evening, taking part in his 29th World Championship contest, is the highly respected Mr. Samuel Braehead from New York, New York, in the USA. And so, ladies and gentlemen, live from Glasgow, Scotland, this is World Championship Boxing. Introducing to Glasgow, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black coloured shorts with the yellow trim. At yesterday's weigh-in, he scaled on the World Championship limit of 9 stones exactly. He has an outstanding record. 19 contests, 17 wins, 9 of those wins coming by way of knockout, with only the 1 solitary defeat and 1 draw. He comes to the ring this evening as the featherweight champion of Great Britain and the Commonwealth, and is the interim WBO champion. He is the challenger this evening from Cambuslang in Scotland, presenting Scott the Real And opposing him, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black blood shorts trimmed with green and white. At yesterday's weighing, he scaled 8 stones, 13 pounds, and 10 ounces. He has an awesome record, consisting of 46 contests, 44 wins. 31 of those wins coming by way of knockout, with only the 2 defeats. Tonight, he is making the 3rd defense of his championship and is considered by many in the professional sports of boxing to be one of the outstanding world champions. From Mendoza in Argentina, presenting the WBO Featherweight Champion of the World, Julio Pablo Chacon. The referee will now give his final instructions to both boxers. This is 12 rounds of boxing for the WBO Featherweight Championship of the world.
The corners is for the World Featherweight Championship. Good luck to both of you. Touch them up. Let's do it.
Sam Viruet, the New York referee, in charge of this big fight. One of the biggest Scottish fight nights of recent years. Though remember, Tyson did fight here a couple of years ago against Lou Savarese at Hampden Park. But there was no Scot involved in that, and you can just feel how fervent this crowd are, Glenn.
You really can. This is a big occasion. Scott Harrison finally getting the chance to fight for the world title, and he really does look up for it, Ian.
It's that sort of night. Even Frank Maloney's wearing a kilt. Seen it all now. Here we go. 12 rounds for the WBO Featherweight Championship of the world. Scott Harrison with the yellow stripe down his trunks. They're both in black. There was an argument about what colour shorts they were going to wear. They both wanted to wear black, but it looks like both of them had had their way. The white waistband of the champion, Chacon. How will he approach the job? He's dangerous with the left hook, particularly Chacon. He had the Colombian Eduardo Barrios down in the first round in his first defence of this title. Harrison's been on the floor only once in his career against Smith O'Doom, got up to win. Reach advantage. Very square on, isn't he, Chacon?
Yes, he fights out of a crouch pretty square, which just means Harrison's got that edge in reach, but Chacon is pretty quick.
One of the raps against Scott Harrison is strong and solid and classy as he's looked on the way through, is that he takes a few too many.
Yes, well, that could be a problem in this fight. He doesn't want to get hit too often against this classy, tricky champion.
The right hand from Harrison. Will Chacon try to play cute here, invite Harrison in and look to counter him a bit? Some people who got a sneak preview, including Harrison's trainer, thought that Chacon was working towards something like that when they saw him. Has to beware of the Argentinian's power.
Yes, and although the crowd will drive him on with their chants and their songs, he hasn't got to just, you know, be too bravo and go forward and walk onto something.
Crowd really doing their best to make this feel a special night for Scott Harrison and to be as hostile as they can to Chacon. They're doing their job. Harrison, though, can't get any of them in there with him. Just taking a look at each other, really, aren't they, in this first round?
Yes, as you'd expect, I'm sure a lot of respect for each other.
Chacon from the land that produced one of the greatest middleweights of all time, Carlos Monzon. Good body shot and left hook from Harrison. Starting to get his combinations flowing, and he can be very, very classy when he does that.
The right hand working very well, then the left hook from Harrison starting to warm up.
Really good stuff. Listen to the crowd as he explodes with that right hand. Scott Harrison, I think he won the first round. Peter Harrison, with a lot of debate about father and son training boxer teams, particularly after the Darby Smith incident with Stephen Smith in the Ricky Hatton fight the other week. But I think these two are no problem at all. They work very well together. Used to be a fighter himself, Peter.
Well, this is what got the crowd up their seats and chanting with a big combination, finishing with that right hand, and that was nice, starting to get his rhythm towards the end of that round, and that was a good start.
Harrison has beaten 3 former world champions, Tracy Harris Patterson, Tom Johnson and Steve Robinson, all a bit faded at the time he met them, but it was a refreshing course to take. They've always rated Harrison and they haven't really protected him that much. He's also had 6 British or Commonwealth championship fights along the way, so he's ready for this. He has to prove he is, though, and just take that final step up the mountain tonight. Good jabbing from Chacon. And the extra zip in his jab because he is a left-handed orthodox fighter. But there's power with that left hand. Henry Cooper also had that style, among others. The counter from Harrison, but Chacon a bit more businesslike with his jab.
But it's the way he's putting his punches together, when he puts the 2s in the 3s, that's where Chacon doesn't look quite ready for them.
The long right hands working for Harrison, but Chacon sticking out that jab, and it's a meaty jab too, to some effect. Getting busier, isn't he, the champion?
Yes, that does look at a solid jab, and he's got to keep wearing his own jab, Harrison, but keep putting the combinations in.
Chacon gets a little bit closer. Harrison needs to be slipping some of these. He's always had that problem. It's just a bit of a shortage of head movement sometimes. It makes him quite easy to catch with the left lead.
Well, he's keeping plenty busy, Harrison, keeping the shots coming out. Just got to stop the jab a little bit. Chacon's is nicely timed, that jab.
Thunderous atmosphere around us in this Braehead arena on the outskirts of Glasgow, not far from the airport. Good right over the top from Chacon, who begins to loosen up a little. Harrison, who doesn't like to watch videos of his opponents, his dad does that for him. He says, I'll go in there and do what I do, and let's see if he has any answers. Good attitude to have.
Well, Chacon looking at the jab, he's avoiding most of Harrison's jabs, and the right hand managed to get his arm in the way.
Close this second round. Chacon's certainly been busier than he was in the first stanza. Harrison, remember, with the yellow stripe down the shorts.
Well, maybe just a little bit more accurate, I think, Chacon, in this round.
It's all boiling up here very nicely. Floyd Mayweather, of course, Joe Calzaghe as well. Harrison, never a man to use a sentence where a couple of words will do out of the ring, but he's pretty eloquent when he gets inside it. Yellow stripe down the shorts of the challenger from Cambuslang, not too far from here, Scott Harrison. With the jab a couple of times at the start of this round, Harrison. Chacon took that one on the glove, blocked it. You can just feel everybody inside this arena engrossed in the drama.
Well, it's a battle of the jabs at the beginning of this round. Both of them trying to find their range.
Didn't quite get there with the right hand, Harrison. Countering right, and then a left hook from Chacon. Now both of these two have shown in their career that they can dish out punishment and take it.
Both of them shown pretty good defenses so far, both of them getting their hands up to catch the opponent's attacks here.
Good defensive work from Harrison. Took a couple on the gloves there. Combination wasted. Chacon clever enough to evade the punishment. Scottish boxing went through a bit of a lean time not so long ago, but it's really flying again now, led by this fella Scott Harrison and Alex Arthur, who we've seen on this bill tonight too. Lets the punches flow. Harrison, much more workmanlike in this round, not everything landing, but he's doing more.
Yes, he's keeping it all, just starting behind that jab, just trying to pick it up and keep the work rate very good.
It's amazing, really, that right the way through history, Glenn, Scotland have never had a world featherweight champion.
Well, it is amazing when they've had the good lightweights and flyweights, but never, and a nice uppercut there from Harrison.
Never at 9 stone, no. Maybe tonight it all changes, maybe. Again, Chacon blocks the right hand with a high-held left glove. Lovely right cross from Harrison, who's settling into a pretty good rhythm here. Chacon's making him miss a fair bit too, but that's Harrison's round for me. Neither boxer marked so far. Quarter of the way through this battle for one of the big world championships, the WBO version of the featherweight title. Chacon has had 4 world title fights. Harrison, this is his first, of course. Harrison has beaten 3 former world champions. Chacon, just a couple. Round 4. Yellow stripe down the trunks, remember, of Scott Harrison, the British and Commonwealth featherweight champion, looking to add the WBO title at world level here.
Decent right hand from Harrison. That's the punch that looks the one that he can catch Chacon with.
It's worth remembering and reminding ourselves all the time that this fellow knows what it's about at this level, knows how to win. Never underestimate that. Harrison's got him with a really good right hand there. Sent the sweat spraying, and then a left hook too. Chacon waves him in.
Well, that's his
cracking right hand, overhand right, left hook to the body. Scott Harrison here showing what he can really do.
Well, that's the sort of combinations he needs in keeping the shots going. That's where Chacon just doesn't seem to have the defense when there's lots of punches.
Harrison showing signs here that he has what it takes to make this a glory night, but there's plenty of work to be done yet, and he knows it. But he's starting to hit Chacon often and hard. Big round this for Scott Harrison. He's really getting through with some thunderous looking right hands, and he's mixing it up to the head and body, and Chacon at the moment is looking in some trouble.
He's fired up. He looks like he wants to do this in style. Chacon has a bad eye. The swelling has just started to come up on his right eye.
Harrison's working him over. The right eye is damaged. Signs of how much he's been taking. Harrison's timing in this round and his power have been something to behold. He really does look a world-class featherweight. Well, terrific stuff.
Excellent work in this round for Scott Harrison.
Well, a hero could be born tonight for Scottish sport, and no doubt about it. If Harrison can carry on like this, Chacon can't keep taking these sort of punches. It because he is heavy-handed. Harrison, he stopped his last 6 opponents. And that right eye is a problem too for the champion, who's breathing heavily, Clem.
He is, he's under pressure. He's boxing with real confidence, as if he knows this is his destiny to get the world title.
Amazing stuff this from Harrison. He catches him again to the temple. He seemed to just rock a little, Chacon, to me, durable as he is.
Chacon leaping in with a left hook, trying to catch Harrison.
A wonderful display of boxing and hitting from Scott Harrison in that 4th round. And the eye is an added problem for the Chacon team, led by Ricardo Bracamonte in the corner.
Well, he really found his rhythm, got the shots going. You know, everything was just so professional. You know, nothing was a struggle, just kept the punches going in. Looked like he'd worked so long and hard in the gym and really getting the shots off well.
Not quite a 10-8 round, was it?
Not quite.
Nearly, but nearly. I was thinking about it.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, I don't think it was quite there, but it was a very good round. And when you think at this level, doing that to the champion, you know, that's what makes you realise how good it was.
Was Harrison making a point there? That was the round that Chacon had predicted he was going to win it. Maybe. Here's round 5. Privilege and a pleasure to be sitting here at ringside this close to what every Scottish fan will be hoping is coronation night for Scott Harrison. But it's worth still making the point, it could still go wrong.
Well, when you've got this caliber of fighter in, the Chacon is, it's always going to be hard. It's not going to be over till Scott Harrison's hand is raised in the air.
Chacon may find something extra too, as the top fighters do when the pressure's on and when the heat is on. Lowish blow, that one from Chacon. Didn't look that low to me, but it was certainly borderline.
Well, certainly he wasn't going to stop and complain. Not really his style, Harrison.
No, he has this kind of poker player's demeanour. Just doesn't look as if anything really gets past the shield.
Well, he's trying a bit harder to get through that defence of Harrison's. Now Chacon leaping in, looking for the left hook with quick punches.
Chacon just doing a bit more leading now.
He's leading, but the jab not as good as it was.
Is Harrison going through with those combinations again? I remember when one of the first times we saw him against Tracy Harris Patterson at Madison Square Garden, and he was electrifying. I think it was about the 9th round, and we looked at each other and thought, this fella's got a lot.
Yes, we certainly did, and that was on the big stage. You know, he showed very early on, you know, that he had the maturity and the confidence to do it.
Rocked him a bit with that left arm too. Leg splayed of Chacon.
I'm not sure if he slipped a little bit. There's a lot of water in the corner.
Yeah, maybe. Harrison again, accurate combinations in close. Systematic, methodical, going about his work, and now Harrison's corner are complaining bitterly because they think that Chacon might have spat out the gum shield, I should say. Get the grammar right amid all the excitement in a moment.
Chacon trying the body shots there, maybe feels that's the way through with Harrison.
Well blocked again, Harrison. Improved defence from him tonight. I think the simple truth of what we've seen so far is Harrison looks a lot better, doesn't he?
He does. He looks like he's rising to the occasion.
And he's putting the rounds in the bank here. Now just check out how many head punches Scott Harrison has landed so far in comparison to the champion. 105 to 54. That is, by the computer, headshots landed so far in the fight.
Well, I think that shows the accuracy and the way he's boxing. Really is boxing very well. Got the rhythm, got the accuracy, and he's forcing the fight, the right tactics.
WBO featherweight title held for 5 years by Nassim Hamed, and for a couple of years too by Steve Robinson. Colin McMillan had it as well, and Britain also had world featherweight champions, remember, in Paul Hodkinson as well.
Chacon trying with a two-punch combination,
but he will not be dominated, Harrison. His mental strength is one of his big pluses, I think. Only had 28 as an amateur, and what is it, 19 as a pro. I think this fellow was just born to do this.
Well, he's got that sort of steely determination. He's only 25 years of age. There's plenty of time for him.
He's really looking the business here. Are you watching Eric Morales and Marco Antonio Barrera? Not to mention Nassim Hamed, Michael Brodie, and Wayne McCulloch, who's with us at ringside tonight. So far, it's been an exciting display. I don't think that's too strong a word by Harrison. Every time Chacon makes a mistake, Harrison is making him pay for it. And the champion might be just getting a little frustrated at his inability to make any kind of dent on Harrison.
Well, that's where the problems will come in with Chacon. You know, if he just starts doubting his own ability, you know, he's already been hit with good shots and they keep coming.
This man is so fired up to win this championship for himself and Scotland tonight, like you wouldn't believe.
You know what's good, and he's fired up, but nothing's rushed. Everything's thoughtful.
Chacon find an answer. He did against Victor Polo in London, even though it was a tight run thing. He won it late. Prepared well for Chacon's left hook, haven't they? They've blocked a lot of those punches.
Yes, I think the preparation's been tremendous. The defense is so much more improved from Harrison.
Again, jolting left jab. It's another Harrison round for me. Let's get an alternative view on things. Adam Smith has some guests for us to meet at ringside.
Yes, Ian, 6 enthralling rounds, Wayne. Is Scott Harrison ripping this title away?
I have in my head 5 rounds to 1. You know, Harrison's doing the right thing, using the jab, pushes the champion back on the ropes, and when he gets him on the ropes, he does his best work.
Steady pressure will win it.
Steady pressure and combinations will take him out, I think, in the later rounds.
Could be a good night for Scotland, Ian.
Thank you, Wayne McCulloch. Fighting on November the 2nd on Sky, back in Belfast, and possibly to fight the winner of this in the next few months sometime. Into the second half of the fight. Chacon making reasonable starts to the rounds, but unable to sustain that.
Well, I think that's because Harrison just keeps firing back. Whenever Chacon does something, Harrison is straight back with a bit more. And really, that's what you've got to do. If you're going to take a title away, you've really got to go out there and grab it.
Chacon, though, does have that power in the left hook. Might he just produce one punch that turns the whole thing on its head? It's possible, isn't it?
It's always possible, yes. He certainly has got the power. He's a good enough champion, a good enough fighter to be able to pull that one out.
Good defensive work there from Chacon. started his training in the Mendoza Mountains, on the slopes of the Andes. 3 months' work too.
Just picking it up a little better, Chacon, the start of this round. Just switching head to body and using that jab to better effect.
He badly needs to win a round. Chacon is going a long way behind us on the cards. Not quite so accurate there, Harrison.
Chacon hasn't used the jab as well as he did in the early rounds.
Juddering right-hand counter from Scott Harrison. Bounced off the chin of Chacon, who's a rugged warrior. Make no mistake about that. Good defensive work in this round by both fighters. They're blocking and parrying quite a bit.
It's just made Harrison think for a little bit as he's changing from top to bottom, head and body, and mixing jabs and hooks Chacon.
Starting to get busy with the jab. Chacon, a better round for him this one.
Yes, it is.
And the left hook got through there, and a right too from Chacon. Just stepping up the tempo a little, and Harrison is hit with another right hand too. Was there a little shift in the plot there? Maybe.
Live football action from the Premiership for you. Charlton Athletic against Middlesbrough. That's Sunday from 3. Super Sunday on Sky Sports 1. This could be a super Saturday night for Scotland here, the way it's shaping up. Back to Glenn and Ian.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. The last round was a little more worrying for Harrison.
Yes, it was. The loads going to be changes, twos and throws. That one just went Chacon's way. Just starting to get that jab working. That's the key in the fight, I think, for Chacon. If he can get that jab working again, he can get back into the fight.
At the moment, my card reads Harrison 5 rounds, Chacon 2.
Mine very similar. I've got Harrison at a 3-point leader, 68-65.
Alberto Andrade in the corner for Chacon's done a good job with that cut. Blood's dried up. Can Harrison pick it all up again? Here he goes. Not much at landing though. Good defensive work by Chacon over on those ropes.
Yes, that was good. There's a couple of right hands went in, but he's still very alert, watching what the attack is, Chacon.
Just that slightly dispiriting thing for Scott Harrison, that he's hit Chacon with all his best shots, and the little fella's still there in front of him and still competitive.
Well, he's got to start putting the punches together, I think, again, Harrison. It's the barrages of punches that have Chacon in trouble.
Good thing for Harrison is he is used to these long-distance battles. There's been a few in his career already. And he'll have prepared for 12 hard rounds. The stoppage, the top fighters will always tell you, is just a bonus if it comes. He just slipped in the corner there where some water had spilt, Chacon. His own corner, in fact.
It almost looks like Harrison's trying to keep him in that corner, where it'll be hard for Chacon to get the grip of the canvas and keep his balance.
Harrison back in control again. Good body shot though, the left hook. Brought almost from hip level and into the rib cage from Julio Pablo Chacon.
A nice little short right hand from Chacon there as well. At times you see the quality from Chacon, don't you? And you see the good jab, the nice little slips, the nice body punches.
Well, you don't win 44 out of 46, do you? Without being pretty good. Look at the level he's been fighting though. He's blocking a few too from Harrison. He's just got a little ragged at times with his work. That was a close round. It's a cool team in the corner. Peter Harrison nearest to you. Denny Mancini, who used to be on Fulham's books when he was a kid, now cut man all over the world and much in demand. Harrison has landed more and thrown a heck of a lot more. Chacon's economy rate's a bit better.
Yeah, a bit more, but yeah, I think that's the nature of Harrison. Just throw as many as he can, you know, and you're going to get through with a lot more, and that's what's happening, and really that's what's important.
Round 9. 12 minutes left. Harrison might be that near to fulfilling his dream. But still, it's no formality. It looked in round 4 as if he might well stop Chacon. The champion has just clawed his way back a little into the fight, you feel, over the last couple of rounds, Glenn.
Yes, he has. Just gotten a second wind, pulled himself back a little bit, keeps bringing in a nice shot every now and again, Chacon.
Harrison does take a few, but he's very durable. Look at that, classy work. Rat-a-tat-tat with the jab and then switching the attack with the left hand to the body. Looking to subdue the resistance of this proud champion. Chacon's assertions earlier in the week, maybe for any publicity purposes, that this was some kind of easy job for him, have been made, frankly, to look nonsense here.
Still trying occasionally for that body shot, Chacon.
Chacon being watched by his big Argentinian mate, the Rangers footballer Claudio Caniggia, at ringside tonight. Still the big work ethic from Scott Harrison.
Two nice little short left hooks from Harrison. Just having Chacon off balance a little.
Chacon gets off those ropes. Harrison didn't quite nail home the attack that time. So far, so good for Scotland and Scott.
Well, it's certainly Harrison that's getting more shots in this round. Just can't get himself on balance to get that jab working, Chacon.
It's a good left hand to the body from Chacon in there. But nothing seems to have much effect on Harrison, or at least he's not showing it anyway. Again, the body shot on the inside. Two of them from Chacon. Keep the punches up. There was a low one in there too from Chacon. That's come back quite well in the last minute of the round there. So let's meet one of the greatest post-war British fighters from Scotland, of course, Ken Buchanan. He's with Craig Slater.
Yes, Ken Buchanan, part of our big fight commentary team tonight. And Ken, it's all going Scott's way so far.
Oh, he's doing everything according to the book. He's perfect. Hands are up, his chin's down, and he's jabbing. He's perfect. And just 3 rounds to go, and I just keep my fingers crossed he doesn't do anything stupid, like, you know. But I just keep. If I were him in his corner, his dad Peter, I just tell him to stick behind that left jab. Just keep on the end of the jab, and he's going to run out a winner.
Yeah, and this crowd have really given him a lift here tonight, haven't they?
Well, Scottish crowd absolutely brilliant when they're behind you. Then here this evening, I think it's 5,000 to 1 Scots against Argentinians, but the crowd have been fabulous, like, you know.
Thanks very much, Ken.
Ken Buchanan, who curiously always seemed to be bigger news in America, where he topped the bill at Madison Square Garden, even ahead of Muhammad Ali on one occasion. But a a wonderful, wonderful world lightweight champion. Shame he had to run into Roberto Duran, wasn't it? Yeah. Round 10 of this one.
That was bad luck, wasn't it? One of the world's greatest.
Ken says he still wants the return. Low blow again from Chacon there, not picked up by Sam Virouette, the referee. That was pretty low. Chacon, when he does punch, is usually quite precise and accurate. He's just not doing enough of it, though.
Well, I think it's hard. I think against someone like Scott Harrison, there's always a lot of punches coming. There's very few mistakes from a fighter like Harrison.
It's great that Jim Watt and Ken Buchanan are here tonight. I know Paul Weir is in the crowd as well, who's Scotland's last world champion. Also have Pat Clinton as well. The great but tragic Benny Lynch, Walter McGowan, Jackie Patterson.
Well, he's on his bike a bit here now, Chacon, just keeping out the way.
Trying something different, Chacon. But I think he's got work to do to pull this fight around, don't you? He has on my card anyway.
Well, he has on mine. I've got him 5 points behind. So he's got an awful lot of work to do. But he needs to really, he needs a big round, Chacon, because it's all going Harrison's way. He's in control, and he's not letting that control slip.
Spanish and German judges, along with England's experienced referee Dave Paris. Harrison made to miss. Just occasionally he's been made to look a bit ragged, but really that's nitpicking, because it's been an authoritative display this from him, not phased at all by the occasion, almost as if fortunate. That left to the body took something out of Chacon. He gulped for air after that one, Glenn.
Yep, there was a pause there, and I think Chacon is, keeping out of the way, skipping about, because it's getting hard for him now. He's thinking about, not getting hit.
Let's go, Scott. Another right hand, just seems to stop Chacon in his steps for a moment. It's the Argentinian getting tired as this pressure from Harrison got to him. Still looking for that left hook, but Harrison pulling away. They're happy. He's 2 rounds away from it, Glenn. It's almost so close he can touch it.
Yep, it certainly is. A lot of punches, 757. The success rate is not that good, but still throwing a lot more than Chacon.
Well, he's landed 70 punches more, nearly.
There's a good body punch going on, but he did get caught at the end with a couple of left hooks just as the bell went, after all his good work throughout the round. That was a nice right hand, but still I think concentration is the key now for Harrison. Can't do anything stupid, it's all there for him as long as he can keep it going.
Both of these two are good amateurs, by the way. Harrison winning a European bronze medal and Chacon an Olympic bronze medal. Chacon a little laid out for work in round 11. Last 6 minutes of this. Harrison must be in a handy lead, you'd think, on any rational reading of what we've been watching.
Well, 2 good left hooks to start the round from Harrison, but some decent jabs from Chacon.
Drove Harrison back across the ring then, rather ominously. There's a little warning from Chacon. He might really start to go for it now. I'm sure his corner have said, look, you're going to have to do something a bit dramatic here.
Well, this is where Harrison has to keep the resolve and the strength up and the concentration right on.
An absorbing battle for the World Featherweight Championship as recognized by the WBO.
And these are tough times concentration-wise, because you start to think about the last round, you start to think about the finish line.
Can't afford to do that, can he?
No, the 11th round's always a bit of a problem. You just want to get to the last round.
Just about blocked the right hand there, Harrison. It's been a little quieter in this round, but I think the onus is on Chacon to come up with something in the wider context of the fight.
Well, Harrison just can't give him the opportunity or the time to come up with something. And Chacon just doing a bit more in this round.
Oh, good left hook, in close from Harrison. This jab is an effective weapon from Chacon. Has he used it enough? Relevant question. Well, it always looked like a long-distance fight. It's proved to be exactly that. Bit of blood around the nose now of Harrison.
And this is the first time, I think, in the fight that there's been a few signs of a bit of fatigue from Harrison.
Well, it's getting late, isn't it? Well, these are the championship rounds, aren't they?
Yep, these are where it's all about heart and guts and who wants it more.
Doubles up on the jab. Chacon's looked better in this round. A slightly more tentative Scott Harrison, who is starting to look a little tired. But that isn't to say he won't come back again.
Well, he tried there, lots of punches, nothing really connecting. And it's been Chacon's best round.
It would be absolutely awful for Scott Harrison and this big Scottish crowd if Harrison was to somehow unravel this late. But that's Chacon's round, I think. Nonetheless, on my card, I have Harrison 4 points in front going into the last round.
Harrison 5 points ahead. And 240 punches to 171 on the computer. Punches landed as a fight total. But I think the concentration will come by. 11 rounds are tough. He's got to pick it up for this one.
They both had a lot of 12-round fights scheduled. How often have they had to go the full distance? 3 apiece. Here's Glenn's scorecard with a round to go. Just confirmation of what he told you earlier. A 5-point margin. Mine is 4 points. But it's not our opinion that matters, and so often we are surprised when the scorecards are announced. So take nothing at all for granted. Last round. Crowd out of their seats all around this arena, which holds 5,000, the Braehead Arena. Will this be the site of Scott Harrison's coronation? There's 3 minutes to go. And I bet you Chacon's going to throw everything in, but Harrison has started fast. Frank Maloney in his kilt, manager of Harrison, is bellowing at him, keep poking out the jab.
But I don't think Harrison can afford just to sit back on his laurels. He's got to go out there and he's got to meet fire with fire, because Chacon is the sort of person that will pick up if Harrison does nothing.
Not accurate, really, with the attack. There's been a better economy rate from Chacon in the fight. He's made more of his punches count, but there have been a lot less of them to begin with. Well, it's sounding like Ibrox or Celtic Park in here at the moment. Slips on that water in his corner again, Chacon, which they need to dry up for his sake. No sign of a big finish from Chacon, quite the opposite. Harrison starts to let the leather fly again. Good defensive work from Chacon. I'm not sure Chacon's got the strength left for a big finish. Harrison here has suddenly picked it up again.
Well, this is what he had to do. He had to finish big. Don't let Chacon fancy it in the last round. That's exactly what he's doing. A great finish to a great performance.
It has been a memorable performance, this, by Scott Harrison. OK, there's been the odd flat period. Chacon's come back in it here and there. but Harrison has proved tonight that this is a world-class featherweight, a genuinely world-class featherweight. He keeps on working, that's a slip and only a slip for Chacon, and again the culprit is the water in his corner. Why don't his own cornermen get to work on that a bit? They could do that when the action was on the far side, but Harrison still goes on. 35 seconds to go. He might be that close. Left hook from Harrison. Tumultuous atmosphere here in this Braehead arena. They sense this may be his glory night.
Well, it's looked on the cards for a long time in his career, Scott Harrison, and it looks like he's finally going to do it.
Well, if the judges are in agreement with us, put this down as one of the great nights in Scottish boxing history. There's the final bell. It goes to the judges. They both throw their arms aloft, but Glenn and I have made Harrison a clear winner of that fight, and I think if there's any justice, he will be the new WBO featherweight champion of the world.
Well, he did that in such good fashion right from the start. He went out there and acted like a champion, fought like a champion, and was the boss. And for me, he's got to be a big winner.
5 points on my card. What about you?
I've got 6 points. 6 points clear on my card. A big winner.
Some performance, wasn't it?
Very good performance, really was. As he's been right through his career, a professional performance. You know, he knew exactly what to do. The tactics were right. Got right on from the start. Was the boss and stayed the boss.
They're already celebrating Harrison's count. They think they've got it. There's Glenn's card, 117 to 111. Mine reads 117 to 112 in favour of Scott Harrison. And if that is how the judges have seen it, he will become the first Scottish fighter ever to hold any version of the world featherweight title. He's always looked potentially world-class. Tonight he proved it. These are the men whose scorecards are currently being collated. Manuel Oliveira of Spain, Dave Paris of England, familiar figure, Axel Zielke of Germany. Well, he's grim and he's dour, but he's also a very proud father of his little 7-month-old son. 7 months today, in fact, Scott, and I know his partner Jackie will be proud of what he did in there tonight. A surprising individual away from the ring. He has this sort of persona of being quite a grim, taciturn fellow, but he does have a good sense of humour. And I think he does oil paintings as well. Chacon doesn't look confident about what he's about to hear, does he?
No, he doesn't. I don't think you would be. He put his hands in the air straight away, but I think that was, just as fighters do, just trying to hope.
Psychology.
Well, yeah, but I think the reality is he feels in his heart of hearts he's been well beaten. Frank Maloney has a big smile on his face, which might tell us something.
Well, I don't know how he knows what's on the cards. He shouldn't do. But it would be astonishing if in front of his home fans, Harrison is denied by the judges here. Let's hear it. We've got it officially now. Let's go over to our MC, Michael Pass.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 outstanding boxing rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. They are as follows. Judge Manuel Oliveira scores the contest 117 to 111. Judge Dave Paris scores the contest 117 to 112. And Judge Axel Zielke scores the contest 117 to 111 for the winner by unanimous decision and new featherweight champion of the world from Cambuslang in Scotland, Scott
a tartan triumph for Scott Harrison, and how he deserved it. Judges got it right, Glenn.
They got it perfectly, and he hears the words that every fighter dreams of all their careers. The new.
Amazing stuff. Incredible night here, and a privilege and pleasure to see it all unfold for Scott Harrison, the new WBO featherweight champion of the world, and the first ever featherweight champion from Scotland.
We asked if he could rise to the occasion, Jim. Did he surpass even what you expected?
Yeah, I didn't see him winning so clearly. I expected a close, tough battle, but a perfect performance. He was against a good champion, but he didn't allow the champion to do what he was good at. He jumped on top of him right from the start, and he stayed there. The three judges agreed that the champion, or the former champion now, thankfully, only won 3 rounds, and that's exactly how I saw it. Scott jumped on him, he stayed there all the way through, was in the driver's seat. Wonderful performance, congratulations.
Barry, how did you see it?
Done what he had to do. He worked every second of every round. He pushed the champion back. He won in emphatic style. There was a couple of dull rounds, 3/4 of the way through the fight, but he lifted the pace again. And what's more impressive than anything else was the last 3 minutes. He won it in great style.
It's his chance to speak for himself now.
After 6 long, hard years of being a professional, you become the world featherweight champion. Only Scotland's 9th ever. The moment of your life?
Oh, I feel unbelievable. For the crowd, 5,000 people have turned out tonight, it's unbelievable to put on a good performance and bring back the world title back to Scotland, where it belongs.
It was a steady, sure performance from you behind your jab. You broke him up at times, but you had to go through tough bits as well, Scott, and showed your heart too.
He's very tough, very strong. He's a counter puncher. So we are working on the jab and fast combinations, back on the jab, working to the body, and just bringing him down bit by bit. But he's very tough, he's a good champion.
You've got Ken Buchanan, Jim Watt, Paul Weir, Gary Jacobs, all the great Scottish names here to watch you, and a 5,000 crowd. Did they help get you through that?
Oh, definitely. No, without them it would have been a tougher fight. I just want to put on a good show for all the fans, and this is all for us. Cheers.
And for you, Scott, and for Frank Maloney, the manager from the very beginning. You have the kilt on, and I think there are tears in the eyes, aren't there?
It was a great win. It was fantastic. 6 hard, long years, and he's the champion of the world. It's just great.
Deserve it every minute, doesn't he?
He's worked hard to get here, and he deserves it. He's a true world champion. He's the best featherweight out there. What Frank Warren has said, he's now in the elite featherweight bracket.
We've got Wayne McCulloch at ringside as well. Maybe he'll be your first defence. That'll be something, wouldn't it?
Oh, I definitely like to fight him. I fight him in Scotland, no problems. But it's up to my manager, my promoter, to get the fight. I want to fight him in the division.
And you want these fans back, don't you? Oh, lovely. Fantastic moment for both of you. And of course, your little son as well. It's been a family affair as well for Scotland.
Oh, definitely. I know the history, and it's good to be a part of it. I'd like to thank my training team, my dad, Billy, John, just all the training team, my manager, Frank Maloney, Frank Warren.
Magical night for you, Scott. Enjoy it.
Thanks a lot.
Gary, you think about the steps he's made along the way.
Yeah.
It's been a thoroughly professional rise to prominence, hasn't it?
Absolutely. He was always a precocious talent, but he brought it the whole way through. He's improved dramatically over the last while. He boxed brilliantly tonight. He fought the way he had to fight. We knew it was going to be a tough fight. From pillar to post, he beat Chacon all over the place. Clearly won the fight. Set up a great couple of fights with McCullough, Brody, and who knows, maybe even Nassim Hamed. And I believe, Paul, that this will be a great period for Scottish boxing.
Jim, was it the best of Harrison so far?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was never going to be an easy job. That was a clear victory, but it wasn't an easy victory. He was going to have to work hard for that. But I've always said about Scott, if you need a hard little man to get a hard job done, he is the man. I knew he wouldn't flinch. That was a good fighter, a good defensive boxer, a good thinking boxer. He couldn't allow him to settle, and he didn't do that. He jumped on him right from the start, stayed on him all the way through every round. He pushed him back, kept going at him, never stopped throwing punches. Tremendous performance.
And some final thoughts from the other members of our team with Adam.
Well, Scott Harrison needed a championship performance tonight, and it was that for him and for Scotland.
Absolutely. I mean, a true world-class performance. I said it in the beginning, I think it'll go to the wire, and I think he'll get on points, but he's he's made his mark now. He's up there with the world champions, and he can now go on and improve himself. An absolute world-class performance.
How impressed were you with Harrison? And you might have to fight him next, so what do you think?
I was impressed because he took the champion's heart away from him. Every round he stepped the pace up, using his jab and throwing that quick right hand. In the last round, he just took a champion completely apart.
Is this a night he deserves?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he went and took the title from the guy in his own backyard. He didn't go away. He done it here. He forced the fight. He forced the pace. And as Wayne says, I mean, the last round, he was even trying to finish him. He'd won the fight out of the park. He just had to. He just went in there and he went and grabbed the title with both hands. Fantastic.
Maybe he'll make his first defence against Wayne, and you're back on November the 2nd, aren't you?
Yeah, I would love a fight November 2nd, get a couple of fights, then hopefully fight Harrison.
Good to see you both. What a night for Scott.
And what a night for Scotland as well. Alex Arthur is on the march. He is the new British super featherweights champion. A fourth-round knockout of brave Steve Conway here. And you feel with Arthur, it really is only the start. Join us again on Thursday evening for Ringside at 9 on Sky Sports 1, reliving the best of a fantastic night here in Glasgow. And we look ahead to the championship action next week on Saturday Fight Night. The new European lightweight champion, Jason Cook, in action against Nasser Lakrib in his first defence. Saturday Fight Night at 8, next Saturday night on Sky Sports 1. From Barry, from Jim, especially Jim, and myself here in Glasgow, thanks for being with us. We came to see history made. Harrison obliged.